Hello, welcome. I'm working through some naval testing at the moment, but I've played a game as the Germans, and I realized that my naval supremacy was really low, and I noticed this playing as Italy as well, and the UK. I was finding I was struggling to get naval supremacy, and I was wondering if they'd made an additional change. In the patch notes and in the dev diary, they mentioned that they were reducing base supremacy, and I did a video on that dev diary. But in the dev diary, it was 75, and the previous base was 100, and it felt way lower than that. So I checked the defines, and in the defines, it's 0. It's still 5% of manpower, 0.5% of IC, and it's 0 base. And then you have ratio. So if you want a project, you need to use either patrol, strike force, or naval invasion support. So what does this mean? Well, in the past, there was the bathtub meta, and that might have been feedback gaming. I know he talked about it a lot. I'm going to assume he came up with it. And that was really supported by math. The blue columns here are the old numbers, yellowish colors are the new numbers. So in the past, bathtubs gave you 28.7%. This is your supremacy value divided by your cost. Now they only give 3.06%, which is very average. Now, I feel like this is partly my fault. When I did the video with this at 75, the base at 75, I pointed out that subs are still stupidly more cost effective than everything else, and even then, destroyers are still really good. And I said, even if you drop the base to 10, it still makes sense to use subs, because at 5.6%, you're still the best ship in the game at generating supremacy per IC spent. So I feel like this is kind of my fault, and because of that, I'm going to tell you how to combat that. Carriers give a surprising amount of supremacy for the IC you're spending, and that's because they have a lot of manpower. And that's the main thing. You're getting 5% of manpower, so what you need is a cheap ship that has a lot of manpower. And that's these ones right here. These are empty battle cruisers of the 36, 40, and 44 variety. They have one gun on them. 4.3% is the second highest. The only thing higher than that is an empty super heavy battleship that has one gun on it and an engine and the armor, and that's it. Now, these ships are not going to be combat effective in any way, shape, or form. They should never leave port. If you're planning on designing ships that leave port, well, as long as you're not building heavy cruisers or light cruisers, you're going to be fine. Bathtubs are still more cost effective than most other ships, but only slightly. Destroyers are no more or less cost effective than other ships, but they do have the added benefit of also being able to escort efficiently. I'm leaning towards just using destroyers so that you can split off these destroyers, you can convoy escort your divisions as they're doing their invasion. So they're giving you not bad naval supremacy, it's it's pretty par for the course, but they're also going to help your invasion actually land without just getting sunk by subs and whatnot. But other than that, bathtub meta is dead. Long live empty battle cruisers. Like if you really need it, empty battle cruisers are going to be far more cost effective than anything else. Or empty super heavy battleships, but battle cruisers can be used to speed tank. Super heavy battleships really can't. Anyways, I thought I'd just make a quick little video on the changes to naval supremacy. I am working on doing some testing. Don't worry, it'll get done eventually. I'll figure out what we should be doing with our navies just in time for them to change them again. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.